It's Rut and River.
Yes.
Correct.
R-U-T.
I rest my beard hair on it.
And then you know you're there.
Like a nice, gentle little pillow for my beard.
Right.
And then I'm all up in it.
Oh.
I'm like Kobe beef for sharks.
Can I ask you, what made you guys call me up about, well, this?
That's what tickles our fancy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thought the Rocky Mountains would be rockier.
John Denver is not accurate.
Man.
A guy like you, who has absolutely no clue, and I can hear it in your voice, that, I mean, you're a blank canvas. I mean, I can just start with you like from scratch.
You're going to tell me, a grown man, you're telling me what lure to use and how to fish?
You guys didn't snap your whopper plopper off either, though. Sorry, I blew up over that.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Rut and River Pursuits podcast. This is the Sonic Campfire. We are reality outdoor radio, where our mission is to get you in the outdoors by connecting you with the skills, people, and products you can trust.
You can trust them.
This is Big Fish Month. Bucky, kick us off with this month's Big Fish sponsor.
I'll tell you about our sponsor. This month's sponsor is our good friend at Dust to Dawn Bow Fishing and Maryland Waterfowl Guide Service, Captain Mark Spagnola.
Ooh, good old Cat Mark.
The one and only. Both Dust to Dawn Bow Fishing and Maryland Waterfowl Guide Service are operated out of the eastern shore of Maryland, as well as the Chesapeake Bay area. In the summer months, you can bow fish for species the likes of stingrays, gar, and snakeheads. While in the winter, Maryland Waterfowl Guide Service can put you on sea ducks of all makes and models.
Little fighter pilots just flying in an inch off the water.
Yep.
Those little speedy little buggers.
You and Stevie love them. Spend a lot of ammo on them. You can learn and book these epic outdoor experiences at dusttodawnbowfishing.com or marylandwaterfowl.com.
Noise. Get you some.
And tell Captain Mark the Rut and River boys said hello.
All right, guys, I'm Steve.
I'm Will.
It's Bucky.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
We got a big fish guest for you tonight, folks.
Is that right?
We do. Now, I got to...
Stevie, what did you do?
I'm going to tee this up a little bit.
All right.
This is
So
Big
we're golfing.
Fish Month, like we said.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tee this up.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're golfing.
Ladies' tees.
They
chum.
No, they have.
Why
Like,
don't you
what's
chum
the
the
one
water?
ahead of the ladies' tee? That's the one I need.
The senior.
So we have been talking all season and even in the last season with some folks from the Jersey Shore, Eastern Shore fishing area.
True.
And the more involved with that group we get, the smaller it seems, or the more tight-knit sort of northeast saltwater fishing becomes. So we had
Tight lines.
So in March, Tony Maja was our sponsor. We talked with Jim Hutchinson. We talked with Nick Konashevsky. All these guys, and down there. And earlier this year,
Kid Cochise.
Yeah.
Charlie Moore.
All these guys.
See?
Earlier this year, Bucky, Ryan, and I got to go fishing with our buddy George Shower from Outdoors Guy.
Chartreuse.
George introduced us to John Augustine.
Good
Yes. Good man, John.
You're doing a hard.
I'm sorry.
This is a lot of
Hardcore shad spoons, John Augustine.
Like triangulate is like 3 points.
I don't.
You're going full Bucky.
So anyways, John Augustine now, thank you, John, introduced us to this week's guest.
Is that right?
And I am
Twice removed.
Twice removed.
What did he do?
On the line right now, this second,
Stevie.
we have Jersey's own Captain Dan DiPasquale.
Welcome.
Captain Dan.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
Some of those guys I mentioned weren't from Jersey, though.
I know, but it's it's that general area,
Captain
right?
Dan,
It's
thanks for putting
northeast
up with this.
Northeast saltwater fishing.
A lot of people, they
there's-
all know each other.
They all know each other. I guess that's the point I was trying to make. I probably could have, shortened that by about a mile.
Maybe.
Or an hour. Yeah.
In retrospect.
So everybody knows everybody, and we were fortunate to get
Well,
to
they
get
do
down.
now if they didn't.
Anyways,
Captain Dan, how are you, bud?
I'm doing awesome. How are you guys doing?
Oh, fantastic.
where are you now?
Sitting in the bridge right now up in Hyannis, Massachusetts, and Cape Cod, just looking at the harbor, watching the sun go down.
You're up in the harbor.
Yeah, in the harbor. I'm getting the accent.
Nice.
It blew today, so we didn't fish today, but we fished the last couple of days giant fishing. The quota actually is closing tomorrow morning at 11:59. So probably done for like the next week.
What's the quota for what?
For giant fishing. Now they have real little. The commercial value right now is the market's flooded with them, and the quality isn't that high only because of what they're eating and the warmer water temps up here.
Okay.
So the fish buyers actually want to have it take a break until the quality gets better. So they're selling, you get more money per pound. Now you're not getting that much, and you just gotta wait until the fish quality itself gets better. It's not that the quota itself's been filled of how many, whatever the tonnage is, but it's more just the quality of the meat's not where they want it to be. So they're gonna. It took a break actually last week too.
So for folks that are listening and that are familiar with like Wicked Tuna on TV, this is one of those quotas that they talk about where you don't know when, but you're all of a sudden they're going to call it, and you're just you got to shut down.
Yep. Sometimes you'll get granted more quota like in North Carolina, but you never know. Depends how it.
Who calls that?
Goes.
Just Noah. Like
marine fisheries. Yep.
Oh, okay. Not the guy Noah.
Not the guy with the ark.
No.
All right. And the animals paired in twos.
What happens if they call you and you got a fish on the line?
You're done.
You got to cut it.
Yeah. You have to be tagged before the quota fills up. Before the time for when it shuts down. Yep.
Wow. So how long have you been big fish fishing?
I mean, I'd say, my junior year of high school started, I came up to the Cape for the first time, giant fishing with Captain Adam Shear doing topwater. That was a real cool experience. I hooked the day number one, I hooked one over 95 inches on a siren, a big stick bait.
What?
And that thing straightened my hooks out after. I mean, it dumped the cell all the way. And after that, I was hooked. The next day I went out, I got an 88 incher on topwater. That was pretty sick. Ever since then, just seeing what, how awesome it is when you get one, but it's also, what goes into it.
Walk us through that. You got it. I can't let you off the hook with this. I cut an 88 incher on topwater. What?
Yeah. Do go on.
Yeah. I mean, Adam's a legend up here, and he's been coming up for a real long time. So I was fortunate enough to get the call from him. He's like, it's teeing up off in Cape right now. And I'd actually just gotten back from a trip on my dad's boat, and I broke off a pretty big fish on a jig, so I was kind of down, And he called me, and I'm like, that'd be good redemption. Came up, and I had no idea what to expect. I mean, before this, I'd caught some big fish, but I'd never seen them on top feed them.
Yeah.
Feed them, And I get up there, and we get to the first feed in the morning at sunrise under the sheer waters, and you just see fish the size of your car rolling on the surface, and it's breathtaking. I couldn't even cast. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my Lord. And, Adam is actually the first feed of the day, his first cast, he hooked up and the sheer water came down and bit his line. And it was like, so the first feed we hooked up, I'm like, this is going to be easy. But, went the whole day pulling up on feeds. You only get one cast out of them before they go back down. And you're going, you see them 100 yards away, you fly over, and you got to put it right in their face. If you miss by a foot, you're not going to get the bite. So, that day we had 3 bites. I hooked that slob on topwater. I watched it eat the stick bait. It swam off the boat, and once it realized it was hooked, I never saw it again. It just took off, and we were using real heavy tackle. And then that night we get back, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, these fish are bigger than I expected." He's like, "I don't even think we're going to land one."
What?
But and I'm all butthurt because we lost it, but they're all still having a good time. And I think it was from there I kind of realized, everybody else up here is the same way. You have guys going 0 for 13. They're all pumped up. And, it's not just about landing the fish. It's about what goes into it, going up there and seeing it all happen, and enjoying the fight, getting to experience it rather than just getting the fish. If you're just going to get the fish, you're going to be upset a lot. Like the other day 2 days ago, we lost a fish that was probably, 95, 100 inches. But,
jeez.
Just watching it all go down is.
That's crazy. Now you say, you're throwing a stick bait in when you see them, boiling or whatever it is you call them for a 95-inch fish. But what size of a stick bait does an 88-inch fish eat?
So to be exact, this is actually a siren size 225. So that's probably goes about like, I'd say 12 to 13 inches.
Okay.
Big stick bait. But, Ron Z's are very productive, and they're probably around, I'd say 10 inches, real slim profile. These fish are feeding on, recently been on sand eels. You see the birds come up with sand eels, and the one we killed the other day was full of sand eels. But, right now we're fishing bait for them. We're using live mackerel.
Okay.
For the giants. Some of the, like last week, actually inshore up in P-Town, we weren't up here for it, but they were, like a mile off the beach in the bay up there feeding on bunker, and guys were getting giants in like 30 feet of water. That sounded pretty sick.
You got bunker?
Yeah.
Where the bunker at?
So we didn't actually say what these fish were that you're catching, did we? Did I miss it?
No. It was right now up here, giant bluefin. And then you go back home, and you got, big eyes, and you got, you're always chasing big stripers, cast stripers. And also this summer we started doing swordfish, which was cool.
Oh,
Did that in July. Cool. Some big swords. Yeah, we had killed like 13 in 3 trips.
Wow.
So that was fun.
So how far out are you going? Like when you leave?
Fish, July canyon fishing for like big eyes and swording. But, giant fishing, we actually started chasing them off Jersey in May. It started to catch on like the last 3 years. I guess they've started chewing in May to come through and hang out and come up. But, it's oh my God, you're fishing for one bite a day. And then you finally get the bite. Like the one day we fished from like 6 a.m. and we got our bite at literally like 8 o'clock at night. Ooh. And we fought that one for over an hour, and we actually ended up breaking off the boat. And that just stunk because, catch a giant in Jersey is real cool, especially inshore. Oh, yeah. And, to break that off, you're like, oh. And, that ended up being our only shot. But like my dad was out the next week, and, he was doing his own thing. He wasn't targeting giants, and he's 19 miles from home, and he got an 81-incher. I'm like, oh my Lord. Wow. But you never know.
Is that 19 miles offshore?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So what's the canyon that you're referring to?
Canyons anywhere from, the Hudson, fish down to the Baltimore, 75, 80 miles.
Okay.
Go out a little farther, go out like 100 miles, you go out to the Fishtails, Atlantis, really wherever the body of water that the eddy, you would say, the warm water, wherever the break is, where the fish are hanging out.
Okay.
So this year was actually kind of different. We had to start off in June with an eddy up to the northeast that came down, and actually they started fishing east of the Hudson there in June.
Yeah, just interesting. Yeah, we hear about it, but I think we haven't experienced it yet. So
it's a whole new world.
We have zero appreciation for how far you have to go and what you have to do to get on this fish.
It's wild. Yep.
If I paddle my kayak 10 minutes, I'm annoyed before I can fish. And you're going 19 miles.
Or 90.
I used to be like, I used to go, I'd be like, why am I preparing for this? My biggest fear is always, what if you go all that way and they're not there? But, just comes with learning how to hunt for them. And the boat I work on, Real Innovation, Captain Jeff Worford, you're probably one of the best to learn from just when it comes to, finding the fish rather than going to report, hunting fish rather than just going fishing, and that's not always just going to always be lights out. You gotta grind away and watching how he does that. And taking notes.
That's got to come with just years and years and years of experience, though, right? Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, you get your butt kicked just from the weather and the elements, and you're always working, cleaning fish, getting stuff ready. Even when you're not fishing on the boat, you're always working on the boat. Whether it's the engine room.
How many days out of the year are you going out to fish?
Well, I'm actually still in college. I go to the College of New Jersey. I'm going to be a junior this year. Okay. So, I fish all 3 months of the summer. I'm fishing like probably 2 canyon trips a week or 2 trips offshore. So that takes up like 4 days usually. And other than that, I'm just cleaning the boat, getting ready to go. So all summer, I'm pretty much on the boat every single day. And then come around October when the stripers show up, I'm fishing October, November, December as much as I can when I'm in class, which ends up being like probably 2 to 3 times a week. If I get lucky, 4 to 5. And I mean, overall on the water, I don't know. It's a lot. Because even when I'm out on the water, I'll fish from land a lot too. Do a lot of surf fishing. I don't know.
What I'm driving at is you're paying your dues.
Yeah,
bud.
he's putting some time in. That's for sure.
You live it.
Yeah.
So, and for being so young, you appreciate the means sometimes is better than the end.
Yep. 100%.
Good on you.
What would a fisherman like yourself be going to school for?
I'm actually going for health and exercise science education, so physical education. So that's kind of what the school
for
while my summer's off. Yeah.
So you got a pair of bike shorts.
Yeah.
And some long socks with never mind.
And
that's
a whistle.
That's what the gym teachers wore back in my day.
Little headband action tank top. Clipboard. No, I like it. It's a lot. It's a hard school. It's a lot of sciences. You take anatomy and kinesiology, physiology. It's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I spent a lot more time in the classroom than a lot of the times. I want to go in March. The Bluefin are down in North Carolina, and I'd love to go down there and do that. I have a lot of friends down there, and I just I haven't been able to just because of school. But I like it. I got 2 more years left, and I don't know. I don't know what I'll do right after school. Teaching school, I like it more than I thought I would. To have the summers off would be pretty cool, and run trips in the summertime.
And you were able to still get your captain's license while you were in school.
Yeah, I'm actually winter break last year I went. So in the fall I decided I just wanted to do it, get it out of the way, and I went for 3 weeks in January. I went, and then I went back for my 50-ton masters the following week. So I got that. And that was cool. I mean, that also was a lot of studying. I didn't really get a break last year. I got out of my first semester, then I went back to captain school. But captain school was a lot. I mean, it was just the studying, really. It was like 4 different tests, if I'm correct, or 3. And it was just a lot of preparation.
Did you find that different, though, than going to school? Because that's your passion.
I actually think school kind of helped with that, just in terms of studying and preparing,
knowing how to study,
there was really no way around it. You couldn't go into the test and just be like, I studied the last 2 days. You had to study. It was 1 book a week, so you had to study each book and if you weren't studying that book during the week and learning the material, you're gonna be screwed. I'm not going to waste my money. As much as I didn't want to study, I wanted to go. I could have gone to North Carolina, I could have gone to Florida, I could have gone to Cabo San Lucas, but I was like, I got to get it out of the way now. So it was cool.
Did you ever get roughed up by the Coast Guard?
I'm going to take that as a yes, and we can't talk about it.
They're just so intimidating with their Zodiacs and with their guns and stuff.
Listen to this. Dude, we're bluefin 2 weeks ago inshore, and there's a Coast Guard boat out there. But there's like 1 million boats out there. And then my buddy goes, "Yo, that's a charter boat." I go, "What do you mean?" It was an old Coast Guard boat.
They converted.
Somebody bought it, and they run charters in it. It was like
wow.
So this boat's, right now I got a big ferry going by me. I might hear the horn. But everyone's like, "What? What are they doing out here?" And you see them fishing. Like, "Oh, they're fishing." And it's like, "Oh my God." That was funny. It was actually really funny because 5 people on the radio were like, "Yo, is that the Coast Guard?"
Yeah, freaking out. Fish flying overboard, people dumping.
Dudes do that all the time when they buy, cop cars at auction or something like that.
Yeah, freaks me out.
Even them Fords, people are evil. I'm driving at a light and I see a Ford behind me, and I just always see
Crown Vic.
Ford Explorer.
I think it's the Ford Explorer, maybe.
Black one, yeah.
I see these guys, and they got some of these people have tinted windows, and I'm like all scared. Driving next, and I look over to an old lady driving. I'm like, "What?"
Slow down to 40.
Good Lord. I'm going speed limit for miles. I'm like, "Oh, it's not even a cop. Come on."
Every time I see those Zodiacs, though, that gets me going. They're just beautiful boats, and they got them all loaded down with machine guns. And,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
I digress, but
and you go back to the captain's thing, like even just the test was only a piece of everything else that went into the resume to even send your application. And, you had to go through background tests. It was a lot of money too. You had to go get your TWIC card. You had to, oh my Lord, you had to go to physicals. Had to sign off on the the hours you had to fill out that form.
So it's no
a lot
joke.
that went into it.
Yeah,
it took me
really.
It took me like a month after the test to get all my stuff prepared. But I have some friends who took it with me then, and they still don't have their stuff ready.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh. And now that the government was shut down there in the winter, so the people that had taken the test, even before me, when the government was closed, it took like 2 months after I submitted the paperwork even to get the license itself, only because of all the people waiting. But I tell you what, like in my class, the first round on the test, I think only like a quarter of the class passed.
Wow.
Jeez. So it definitely wasn't, it wasn't a cakewalk by any means, or, just you're going to sign up and do the class and take it. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, there's no gimmies in that one. It was a tough test.
So could you walk us through what it takes? You talked about setting the boat up, getting the boat ready to go on an overnight offshore trip.
Oh, boy.
Can you walk us through what's involved with that? Is it just like packing up your camper and a couple rods and going, or what do you got to do?
It all goes back to putting new top shots on 200-yard top shots on reels. Checking the engine room. You got to make sure everything's the fuel filters, the rate cores, freshwater tank has to be filled. We're filling the boat up with like 500 pounds of ice, so it's like we're icing up each trip, getting drinks on, food. We're unloading. Shopping carts of food when we go out. So the boat I work on 60 feet. So when we go out, we're bringing, 6-7 people.
Wow.
My boss brings like his clients. So the food, what else? You got to do, laundry, make the beds, vacuum, clean everything. It's the windows. You got to go to the fly bridge, the isinglass.
It's like a hotel on wheels, or on wheels. A hotel on the water. Yeah.
Yes. And then, when you get back, it's, it's not just a simple rinse down. You got to do all the cushions. You got to take it all apart. You got to. It's a lot.
Do it in reverse.
Yeah.
Doing pianos.
Baits. I'm thinking of some of the stuff right now. I can't even. I'm definitely forgetting some stuff right now. But it's definitely not just. It takes like 2 days to get ready to go.
Well, how does how does a trip like that run? Like, what's from a client standpoint? What would I expect?
Well, hopefully you expect full boxes in the first hour, but it doesn't always work like that. But no, we leave at different times, whether it's middle of the night or in the day. But when we're going to the canyon, recently we've been daytime sword fishing out there. It's been pretty good, and so we can start off by doing that, or going on the troll and really just hunting the fish down until you find them. Now, like during the day, right now you're mainly getting just yellow fins out in the canyons, but the big eyes come up like the last hour of daylight, I'd say they've been coming up. So you have a shot then for a big eye. Then if not, at night you're fishing bait, you're chunking.
Okay.
And, during the night, sharks. Right now the water's gotten pretty warm. There's a couple makos around. My one buddy, my buddy Fritzy the other day, shout out to Fritzy. He's in the White Marlin Open. He had a 277 mako. That's actually the first place for the shark category.
Oh,
wow. There's definitely some slops still around, but primetime sharking, I'd say it's back in June. In the canyons when you're night fishing, we had a pretty good mako bite down to Baltimore at night. So, a lot of the times the nights are pretty boring. I spend most of the night. We have rods in the water, but I'm usually just getting stuff ready while everybody sleeps. And then, once 4 a.m. comes, you set up back on the troll. The big eyes are up, and you have a shot until probably I'd say 9 o'clock, and then it kind of might slow. The big eyes go down deep, but recently, it's last year or so, they've been chewing. Get little wolf packs of them, not slobs like 100-pounders, but you have a shot. You can get covered up in big eyes any time of the day right now. It's just luck. You got to go over them.
How long did it take you to be able to distinguish between the 65 different types of tuna there are?
I've never really, I don't know. I can tell the difference, just by the little things.
Really?
I don't know. The big eye, for example, the eyeball is like the biggest giveaway. I caught a giant the other day, and I'm like, damn, that eye's small.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's easy to mistake them, but I've never been like, oh, that's a bluefin to a yellowfin. I've never seen a yellowfin like, oh, that's a bluefin, or mixed them up. Okay. I don't know. The colors, the fins, the pec fins, it's just, I think, I've always thought big eyes are way more round, you know, in the eyeball. And then the yellowfin, they're a little more slimmer.
I've never seen one up close, so maybe that, you know, whether it's big eye or yellow eye or Bluetooth, whatever it was.
I watched it on TV, and I'm like, how do they, like, there's this long fin up here. We actually, usually longfin tuna fishing isn't good until the fall, but this year we've had them since, you know, the end of May and beginning of June they've been around, and we've caught a couple longfin, they're also called albacore. They're more of a white meat fish.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they're pretty obvious. They have a really long fin.
Starkist likes them.
Do they?
It's true.
Yeah.
We've actually also had a couple of Allison tuna around this year, so they have the really big sickles. They're pretty obvious, but you can easily, like, even some of the big yellowfin around. Like last year, we sold one to a fish buyer, and he got back to us saying, you know, it's a baby Allison. So I guess you can mix up a baby Allison and the yellowfin, but they're pretty much the same fish. Just
is there any? I know with inshore fishing or backwater fishing, it's very tide dependent. Does that play any factor at all in offshore
up here in Cape Cod right now? And I didn't even know this until, you know, the last couple of days. But, you know, the slack tide for giant fishing up here. You know, you're fishing all day for one tide, the slack tide, and you're fishing for 1 or 2 bites during that tide.
So even that far out, there's still,
it still has an impact.
But I'd say it all goes down. It all come back to the current. But I'd say the biggest thing is the moon phases. I think the moons, I mean, our canyons were on fire in all June and then into July. And then once we got the new moon, it was like July 4th, I believe. It shut off like a light switch. I don't know. I think the moons have the biggest thing to do with the fish.
Do you have any idea why?
I don't know. I mean, the full moon, you got light all night. I don't know. I don't know. I think it puts pressure on the fish. I really think it does in the bait.
Because of that extra light.
Not just the light itself, but with the moon phase itself. But I mean, I wouldn't say the lighting is the reason why, but I'm trying to learn that too. It was crazy. I mean, the fishing was. I mean, everybody out there, at least 25 yellowfin, and then the next day, nobody gets a bite on the new moon, and you're like, wow. Like the moon definitely has
an impact. Sure,
yeah.
Sounds like
serious impact.
I spent 2.5 years in an ER working as a nurse, and I'll guarantee you the moon has an effect on animals.
I can imagine. I can just imagine. Yeah. I have a question for you. So
you came to the right place, bud.
No, listen.
You're so patronizing.
I know. So if the guy comes up to you and he's got a bucket list and he's like, you know what, I got to get me some of these fish on the bucket list. How hard do you have to work to kind of start clicking off some of these big tuna? Like, say you want an 80 plus whatever, you know?
Is that big? An 80 plus? Is that what's
incher or pounds? I mean, we actually incher.
Yeah,
I like.
It's
pounds.
all about going the right time of the year. I mean, like right now up here in Cape, you know, it's not given to you. It's not. I mean, you're even just landing that fish is hard itself. You know, getting the bite.
What's an 80-incher weigh?
An 80-inch fish, probably like 250, 300 pounds.
That's no joke.
Yeah, that is no joke. That's way more than I thought.
That's a linebacker.
Anyhow.
But that's Levon Kirkland.
You have to up your spool back.
The fishing off Jersey right now, like 40 miles out, it's a lot of 100-pounders, so like 60-inch bluefin, and the jig bite's been insane for weeks now. It's still going strong. Actually, before I came up here, that's what we were doing, like every day pretty much. We're taking people out there.
You're actually jigging with, like, you know, bouncing a rod up and down?
Yeah, no, super light tackle. Yeah, using like 8,000 size reels, 10,000.
No kidding.
Little 5-foot rods. That's awesome.
I'm gonna kill my guidance
super
counselor.
fast.
Yeah.
How heavy's
that's awesome.
How heavy's a jig?
So they're feeding on sand eels down there off Jersey right now. So you're using 80-gram jigs, which is probably around like a 250 gram jig is like 7 ounces. So I'd say an 80 gram jig is probably a couple ounces, I don't know, 2 or 3 ounces. Anywhere from 80 to 120 grams. But so the surface temperature out there is 80 degrees. Actually, on the bottom, it's 45 degrees. My buddy's a diver, and he went down a couple weeks ago. So a lot of the bites on the jig are coming off the bottom. You know, a lot of the guys trolling, you know, you're getting bites. You can get a fish here and there, but if you're jigging, we had 15 fish in an hour, and my buddy didn't have been trolling all morning. He only had 3 bites.
How deep is that?
Oh, you're fishing like 150 feet of water. But you go down and now like a couple different other of the wrecks. You know, you come in 30 miles, you know, you got the Reezer there, and there was a bite there a couple weeks ago, and you're fishing, I don't know, 9,500 feet of water up to 120.
So the surface is 80, 150 feet down is 45, and that's where you catch. Wow.
Crazy.
I would like to hang out there. My diving buddy was like, yo, like, what do you think the bottom temp is? I'm like, I don't know, like 60.
Yeah.
I said, no, 40. And I'll be in Cape right now. I mean, the water's like 50. The surface temp at least like 58. But it's been cold the last couple mornings. But it's sick up here. This is a total different animal up here, though.
Why haven't we ever gone jigging for tuna?
No one's invited us.
No, I had no idea that was even a thing.
Didn't know it was a thing. Let's make it a thing.
Wow.
It's all, and the best part is anybody can do it, especially it's inshore bite. I mean, we took 2 charters.
We'll show you.
Whoa.
I mean, we had guys never caught a tuna before, and you know they're getting bites, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're only moving that jig 3 or 4 feet or something like that at the most?
Where's the bite over Labor Day?
Over Labor Day?
Yeah.
And the last couple of years, we had a pretty good yellowfin bite inshore on Labor Day. Last year on Labor Day, I crushed an yellowfin inshore jigging.
I'm gonna need to know about that.
The yellowfin haven't been around this summer really. Actually, ever since that new moon, they've been kind of.
I hate the moon.
The moon stinks, dude. It ruined. But I mean,
get rid of it.
Really good.
Bad cheese.
But I tell you what, like right now in Jersey, back on the side banks bass fishing, like the worm hatch is actually going to happen probably like in 2 weeks in my marina, and that's actually pretty moon dependent. But when that comes, oh my god, the fishing's insane.
The what?
Worm hatch.
Bass fishing. Worm hatch, yeah, cinder worms.
Really?
These little cinder worms come on the mud on the surface at night. Oh, I actually had Jim Hutchison come with me like 3 years ago. One night it was teeing off for a week, and he came with me, and we crushed them one night. My buddy James Bonanno also came. Big fly fishing guy, and he caught him on the fly all night long. It was sick.
Oh, wow.
He was bragging about topwater bites the whole time when he was on our podcast.
Taunt us with it.
God love him.
Topwater fishing, you know, and then so I started doing topwater with like stripers.
Yeah.
And tuna is a total different beast. Like I said earlier, my buddy Adams really, you know, took me under his wing and taught me how to, you know, rig everything up, and that's it's a lot that goes into it.
Sure.
But I mean, I don't know.
What did tuna eat on topwater? Like a Whopper Plopper 190 or something like that?
They'll eat it. You're not going to ever see it again.
Oh yeah, they'll eat it.
Yeah, they'll eat anything.
They'll eat it right up.
I don't know if you saw it. Last year we had a trip on the boat I work on, like 100 miles, and we actually had a school of big eyes hanging out under the boat in the middle of the day. And we had 17 on the jig that day, which is like unheard of.
Come on, dude.
We rose these things under the boat, and it was like they were eating anything. And it was a weekend. Like there was hundreds of other boats out there around us, and the only guys getting bit were the guys trolling around us in circles, bouncing the bars off our boat. But we had these things under the boat. We got wolf packed in the morning, and then we got wolf packed again a couple hours later. And then after that one wolf pack, like the whole entire mother load of fish came up, and that was probably the sickest bite I've ever been in, jigging big eyes. Like they said, you'll never see that again. We were catching them on like they're eating everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
There goes Bucky.
Buddy.
He's our wolf pack of one.
The resident wolf.
A fly rod.
Wow.
But I've caught marlin on the poppers too. That's been pretty cool. I caught a white marlin. My first fish on like a stick bait was actually a marlin.
No
I was just
kidding.
trying to learn how to use it. I was out in the canyon, And I'm like, how does this thing work? And I take like 3 cranks.
I was gonna say you twitch it once and it gets exploded on.
I get bit.
I'm so lucky.
So I'm horsing this thing in, and I'm like, what is this?
Don't horse it,
takes off. Thing takes off. I'm like, oh my Lord, what is that? White marlin. I was sick, but I don't know. It's crazy. You know,
what?
I don't know. There's just something about it.
How many freezers do you have?
I actually don't. I don't take on that many fish. Even on the boat I work on, it's all commercial, so that all gets sold. I mean, I love sushi, but I give like even in striper season, and I give a lot away. I don't know. I really don't film that much meat. A lot of people say that, like, how much stuff do you have in your cooler in your fridge?
I have another question for you.
Dan, hang on after the show. I have an address for you to ship some of that meat off to you.
Especially
that striper.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a guy with a bucket list. And he's got this list and he wants to start ticking off some of those fish, but doesn't actually want to fish. How much does that? How much do those fish cost?
I mean, my friends, I don't know. I don't sell them to them. I just give them for free. But like commercial fishing, you know, we're talking like selling. I'd say the best fish right now, Big Eye sells for the most, I'd say. Even last year it was like $8 to $12. He had $6 to $8. Yellowfin right now is actually really poor per pound, and the bluefin's really poor right now per pound.
Yeah.
So is there really a guy at the dock with a crane and a chainsaw and
a little core,
core puncher, core bore?
Yeah, actually, we had that happen the other day, and that was pretty cool.
How's that work?
Like we have a sawzall on the boat, so like when we're big eye fishing, I'll collar the fish right there with the sawzall and take that gut it out, cool it down. You know, them fish, you know, even if the fights only last like 5 minutes, it actually takes like 3 to 4 days for the fish to completely, the internal temperatures to completely cool down.
Wow.
So like a lot of people, I have some friends that when they catch their fish, they won't take it out of the cooler for 3 days. Like they'll collar it, but they won't take it out of the cooler for 3 days. Won't eat it.
And does a fish anatomy or physiology create a lot of lactic acid during their?
Yeah.
And then you're trying to get.
That's free tenderizer.
Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
actually,
you can go.
It's not
there's
a
like
good
many
thing.
cuts you can do when you catch it to vent it out. You do a tail cut to the pec fin, cut in the head. Some guys even have, I forget the name of it. It's like a long piece of wire, and you actually put it down the spinal cord, and it paralyzes them.
Huh.
Help them calm down faster. I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff guys use.
That's great.
I eat fish as soon as, like, we've caught some fish, and I've had a chunk of like sushi on the boat. I haven't cleaned it.
Ooh, that would be good.
Good. Yeah.
So the guy at the dock that you actually had that experience like they show on TV, do they always have a real long dramatic pause before they tell you the amount per pound?
No. You know, this one.
When we come back.
Burnout.
Did they really make a judgment call on that big of a purchase with just that little slice out of the middle?
Yeah.
And that. I mean, that core.
Like even like a couple weeks ago, actually, one of the big longline boats out of Barnegat Light, and I'll be out near my house, came back in the Francis Anne. They actually used to be on a show called Swords Life on the Line.
Oh.
A couple years ago, and so they come back and they had a fish buyer there that's been doing it for, I guess, it's like his whole life. And this guy is just seeing, like, takes a tail cut and he knows right away, like, what kind of fish it is, with not even seeing the fish's head, like them being completely collared.
Really?
And
wow.
I mean, no, you really can. You can tell the tail cut. You can see how burnt the meat is from fighting it.
Sometimes they can just see me coming right to the marina and they're like, look at the oil on that guy's lobes. This is going to be a good one.
Seriously. Yeah.
Do tuna have cheek meat?
Cheek meat?
Yeah.
They do.
Actually, let's do this. The buyer the other day, the guy was sitting there, asked him to take the heads, to eat the meat out of the heads. We're like, all right.
Wow.
Head meat, yeah.
Sold.
And I had no idea that the
He
head
makes stock out of them, I guess.
Oh, that cheek meat though.
That's a big pan you'd have to have.
A cauldron.
Yes.
A cauldron.
Seriously.
A bubbling cauldron.
A bubbling cauldron.
I'd like to eat the cheek meat out of a yellowfin.
So, Captain, you did mention. sorry, boys. Captain, you did mention pretty early on about that 88 incher. I think you said that you ended up losing at the boat after an hour-long fight.
Yeah.
What's the longest fight you've had with one of these monster
Ryan.
fish?
Longest fight?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I've had some heartbreakers, dude.
What?
I've had some fights where like I had nothing left in my body, and then just freaking it just pops off. I don't know, a couple hours probably.
Hours.
I mean,
Did you cry?
Honestly, you got to be honest. Yeah,
a couple
honest.
years ago, I lost a slob yellowfin on the jig.
Don't lie.
And I didn't cry, but I went to bed after that. I was like, I'm done.
I bet.
I laid in bed.
So you pouted.
I would have pouted. I'd have cried.
You pouted.
I would
Stevie
have cried.
pouted
Actually, no,
over
I think
trout.
I actually might have, dude, like 6 or 8 years ago, I was on a party boat, and we'd fished all day, and like I was probably like 12 or 13, and my dad tied on this lure on like a diamond jig, and I dropped down and get bit. At the end of the day, last drop of the day, Captain honked his horn, and everyone's catching stripers, and the thing like the knot just comes undone, or that broke off. And I was actually heartbroken after that. But like that was actually like the start of every like after that. That's all I thought about was losing that fish. Like fishing every day the rest of that fall.
You had the fever.
But I don't know. Yeah, losing big fish sucks, dude.
It does.
But you know, you gotta. It's a part of the game. If you got upset after you lose, and the more you do it, the more you hook. And you know, you can't get upset. You gotta appreciate, you know, the fight that you get just from hooking one, or you know, whether it's a big striper or a big tuna.
Can we? I'm going to shift gears on these guys a little bit, and talk. I'd like to talk a little bit about striper fishing, if we could.
Okay.
I know it's not. You know, we can talk about giant stripers only.
Yeah.
I striper fish a lot. Like even down by me in Jersey right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tuna fishing a lot, but I love striper fishing.
Where's the giants now?
Giant stripers off Block Island. Off Block Island.
Where's that?
That's off Block Island.
Yeah.
So the other day we were actually on the way up here up the coast. We were fluking off a Montauk Lighthouse.
Let's say for example,
Montauk.
Let's say that the only place in New Jersey someone's ever been is Ocean City.
For example.
So let's use that as a reference point.
Ocean City,
north of that.
That's South Jersey. Block Island right now.
Yeah.
Well, Block Island's way north. That's like north of Montauk. It's an island off of
and they're way up there.
Rhode Island.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the big fish. After this, check out Instagram, Joe DiOrio.
Okay.
Guide service. That's my buddy. Oh my God! Every night he's getting 40, 50 pounders. That's where
Every night.
Yeah.
I hate him.
We need
to be there.
Oh man.
It's insane. He's sending pictures all the time. Like I'm actually up here in Cape Cod right now, and the canal's 15 miles away, and the Cape Cod canal's teeing off.
What's the preferred way to fish for giant stripers this time of year up there?
In the canal, you know, they're feeding actually on top. I guess they were on squids for a while, and they're feeding on mackerels. They throw them big pencil poppers when the fish are down in the current.
You would say that, wouldn't you, Captain Dan?
I've never done it though, so I mean, I just have a lot of friends that do it. I do a lot of their stuff. But off block, I mean, the guys are throwing eeling at night, big eels in the rips and the rock piles, and throwing big plastics. But down by us, just a live line of bunker, snag and drop. I think it's real effective. Trolling, Tony Maja bunker spoons or mojos.
Yeah.
It's been real good. Plug bites are awesome, but you're lucky to get into a big fish plug bite, especially down off. I'm from LBI, so I'm fishing most of my time off like Seaside and Island Beach State Park. But this past April, I was up in the Raritan Bay a lot.
Yeah.
And I had some really good shots at really good feeds, and there's a lot of fish up there in the bay, kind of trapped by New York and the highlands, and that bite's sick. I mean, it's insane. But those fish are totally different than the ones you see off LBI. LBI, in the springtime. You're getting all the fish are monsters. You know, they're all at least 40 pounds, 35 pounds. But
no kidding.
Those are coming up from down south from like Delaware River.
Yeah.
Like Chesapeake Bay. That's all those fish. And then up in Raritan, you have like the Hudson River fish. And it's just,
What's your favorite way to striper fish?
My favorite, pencil popping.
Sandy Point.
Yeah.
Pencil popping. There's something about it when you have a fish hit a pencil popper. It never gets old. You're
like
just
standing on the beach?
Yeah, I like beach fishing too. I do a lot of surf fishing like in April in the Raritan. I'll fish like more like side banks up there than the surf itself. But I have so much fun in LBI in December and January. Not a soul on the beach. I have a house in Barnegat Lake. I walk up the street and I just throw bucktails in the just the rips up there.
You're stalling out on us there, bud. What'd you throw?
Long Beach. That's where John Skinner fishes a lot, isn't it?
I've seen him out there. No, he fishes Long Island.
Long Island. Okay.
So anyway, I stalled out there. No, but I love fishing. You know, the end of December, it's so quiet and peaceful. I'm fishing. You're fishing these big beach lips and cuts and bars, like sandbars. Like people always ask, like you catch fish bigger than you, where you fish all summer. Why you're fishing now? You know, for like schoolies. I mean, but I don't know. I love it.
It's
fishing. You're out there.
Yeah, it's fishing.
It's sick. You know, watching a sunset go down in the winter with all the birds and everything. You have some real cool birds down there. Cormorants sit in the water, and you have fish. I mean, it's incredible. You get some really good bites.
I want to do some wintertime surf fishing this year, boys.
Yeah,
we make it happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Definitely.
When do you stop fishing?
When do I stop?
Yeah, what time of the year? Is it December?
Christmas and Easter, it sounds like, Stevie.
Dude, I used to stop the end of December, but now I just don't stop. I mean, last January I was in Captain school, so I guess that was kind of like a 4-week break.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be down in North Carolina this January.
That's more of a pause than a stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
Christmas week, I guess I take a break.
But there's not a season. So January, February, March. I mean, we're ice fishing in here that time of the year.
I don't ice fish. I never ice fish. I guess you could say I take a break like in March, right? Probably March.
We'll trade you an ice fishing trip.
Yeah.
On any frozen lake in this area for
anything tuna related. More than 40 pounds. For some tuna jigging.
Yeah. I mean, the tuna bite, like off Jersey, doesn't really go crazy good until May, but there were a lot of tuna around this year. I mean, I had one buddy go out in April and get them. And it's been a real good inshore fishery off Jersey.
It's
still going strong. And it's awesome. I mean, I saw an 18-foot duck boat out there Memorial Day weekend.
Really?
A duck boat, like a little cano tin boat with a little engine on it, a little outboard. It's like, what are you doing?
Was that Pit Boss?
It could have been.
It was Coates.
Not that kind.
No, I don't know. It's awesome.
Captain Dan, we got to do this.
Oh, Stevie.
I don't want to do it, but we're coming to the end of the show. We got to start wrapping this up.
Come on, Bob. Give me some more time.
I'm sorry.
He's got the bunker.
I love every person we talk to is passionate about the outdoors.
You ain't kidding.
And I love guys that. And Dan, man, you live it every day. You're fishing every day, and it just, I don't know, it warms my heart, I guess. But
it warms your cockles.
I said it warms my heart, Buck. All right, so we're gonna ask you 5 questions. We call these the Fast 5. And
Fast 5.
Yeah, we're gonna ask you the Fast 5. Just blurt out the first thing that comes to your mind. There are no wrong answers.
But we'll let you know when they are.
We'll let you know if one's wrong. So,
shoot.
Question number 1: what's one thing you can't live without in the outdoors?
Live without in the outdoors? Come on now. I don't know. How serious of a question is that? How serious are we talking?
It's a fast one.
It's your answer. Whatever you're
want.
feeling in your heart.
What I can't live without was ocean.
The ocean. That makes sense.
It does.
I see what you did there.
I love the ocean, even if I'm not even like outdoors. I like the beach so much. Just live in my house at the beach.
Very cool.
That's cool.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Perfect Storm.
Oh. Didn't see that one coming.
That's a tough one.
Andrea Gale.
Yeah, I think that would be like
my least favorite.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to watch that at all.
What's your favorite movie, Buck? The Last Temptation of Christ
and Jaws.
Jaws. I love movies. I watch all types of movies. But Perfect Storm, I don't know. That was badass. That boat's actually in Barnegat Light.
It is.
Really?
Yeah. Yup.
Huh.
The one in the movie.
Oh, no kidding.
He's in Barnegat Light. Yeah, it's cool.
Castaway.
Oh my Lord.
Bucky,
you better follow up number
Dan,
3, guys.
what's the one thing that you do daily to prepare for your outdoor lifestyle?
Do daily?
Yeah.
I'm always rigging or organizing, I'd say.
Always
whether it's
prepping.
Yeah, prepping. I'm always prepping, whether it's making wind-ons, going jig and pop fishing, or, putting hooks on pencil poppers or plugs, changing hooks out. I'm always doing something every day. Even if I'm not fishing, I'm always getting ready.
Very cool.
Number 4.
So, number 4. We had a little bit of talk about bucket lists tonight. May or may not have been Will's bucket list. I'm not really sure.
Some guy.
However, Captain Dan, what's on your bucket list? What's something you need to check off?
I think it'd be really cool to catch a big grouper down in Florida, like a snowy grouper or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I've never fished in Florida before.
Really?
So I have a lot of bucket list fish on there, like tarpon. Tarpon, I'd love to do that.
Snook.
Yeah, snook. Snook look cool.
I've never asked this question, but how far north do grouper come?
I mean, you catch them in the canyons off of Jersey.
Oh, really?
There's some spots where they were until they got cleaned out. But, we get bottom fishing off Jersey in the canyons. You get tile fish, golden tile fish, different variations, blue line tile fish. You'll get barrel fish, all different types in the grouper family.
Gotcha.
But there are some snowy groupers around up here. People catch here and there. But the ones that, there used to be a lot, I guess. I wasn't around for it, but I guess it used to be really good back in the day up here. But, they come up here. Yeah.
All right, question number 5.
Oh man, the ferry's honking its horn right now.
He wants to be on the podcast too.
Dude, this sunset right now is sick. I'm not gonna lie. All right, what's question number 5?
Question number 5, Captain Dan. What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Watching the sunrise on the water. Watching the sunset on the water.
That's probably something gets overlooked from time to time, but that is beautiful.
Yeah,
definitely.
That one would have made Catfish happy to hear.
Yeah,
heck yeah.
I heard that. All right, but guys, that's a show.
Yeah,
it's a heck of a show.
It's a heck of a show, Captain Dan.
That was fun. I just looked at my phone timer. It says an hour. I mean, it felt like it was 10 minutes.
I heard that. And we're gonna close out the show here. If you could stay on the line for just 2 minutes, and then we're gonna send you out a 4-pack of spices.
No offense.
That our friend TV's Mad Fisherman Charlie Moore hooked us up with. They're made from the best spices on earth.
No offense.
Hey. No offense. We'll get that out to you, but if you could just sit tight for a second. Bucky's going to close this show out. Bucky.
Stevie, before you have Bucky close this out, let's not forget this month's episode was also brought to you in part by Scared Fishless Tackle Company.
Scared Fishless.
Make sure you head on over to scaredfishless.com. Check out everything they've got going on, from their 6-inch diamondback worm.
Love that diamondback worm.
All the way to the fatty boom batty, Bucky.
Whoa.
That's right. Hey, check out all the cool colors that they've got too, but guess what?
What?
They also do custom colors. You got a color you love? Send them a sample. They'll match it as best they can. Get over to scaredfishless.com. Check it out, guys.
All right.
There it is.
There it is. Bucky, Where can the folks find us?
They could find us at RuttenRiverPursuits.com. On social media at by searching Rutten River Pursuits.
Podcast.
And, of course, on YouTube by searching Rutten River Pursuits Podcast.
Love them YouTubes.
Oh, yeah.
What if I wanted to subscribe to the episode and get it automatically delivered to me twice a week?
You could find us on podcast apps such as the likes of Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.
Nice.
I love those Spotifys, if I haven't told you.
I heard that radio.
I love them all.
You listen to the same show on all three platforms?
Heck yeah, why not?
3 times.
3 times the love. That's what I give us.
6 episodes.
6
Good
times
show,
a week.
boys.
A week.
Good
Yep.
Great show. Big Fish Month. That was what?
She'd be
Sonic
rolling.
Campfire number 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go.
Good stuff.
All right, guys.
See you.
Later.
Rig 'em witness.
Did you ever get roughed up by the Coast Guard?
I'm going to take that as a yes, and we can't talk about it. I spent 2.5 years in an ER working as a nurse, and I'll guarantee you the moon has an effect on animals.
I can imagine. I can just imagine.
Yeah. This is a total different animal up here, though.
Why haven't we ever gone jigging for tuna?
No one's invited us.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
Didn't know it was a thing. Let's make it a thing.
Wow.
It's all, and the best part is anybody can do it, especially it's inshore bite. I mean, we took 2 charters.
We'll show you.
Whoa.
I mean, we had guys never caught a tuna before, and they're getting bites, and it's awesome.